and I've said this 1,000 times, the rug pull is the use case. The fact that you gave them your hard-earned money, that was the use case, okay? The people that do end up getting some money back, they're very fortunate, but they're not going to be the majority. And so this is why we say, like, look, we know the marketing is great. They pay you all kinds of money, right? 20%. They pay you not to sell. They're paying you not to sell. And they're paying you an exuberant amount of shitcoin that they mint for free not to sell.
Look, in terms of the whole Luna situation, if this is your first cycle, welcome. This is how it plays out every single time. A lot of these shitcoins, and this is why we only advocate for Bitcoin on this show strongly, they won't make all-time highs again. They're just dead.
Recently, we're starting to hear, you know, as the Bitcoin price tanks, we're starting to hear talk about Luna Terra, okay, which has some quote unquote stable peg to the dollar. But anyways, let's take a look at the price. This is a retweet from Mr. Robot. Let's take a look at the original tweet from Dr. Jeff Ross. Okay, here's a little screenshot. What no bid looks like. This is the price of Luna. Eeeh. That does not look good, but...
Amazing.
But, yeah, I know, and this is supposed to be quote-unquote stable pegged, and don't get me wrong, this is why, one of the reasons why shitcoins should not have real money in them, and this should not be happening anyways. But let's take a look at the stable peg. This, I think Corey sums it up very well. Trying to make $1 out of 64 cents. So what he's saying is that they couldn't hold their peg to the dollar, and this is the whole point, supposedly, of this shitcoin, is to do this. So it couldn't even fulfill its main mission. Anyways, moving on, let's go dive into the article that covers it, and let's see what happened exactly. The Luna Foundation Guard, or LFG, which every time I read that, I always read it as let's effing go. Anyways, the Luna Foundation Guard used $1.5 billion from its treasury to help project, I think they meant protect, the $1 peg of the UST. 750 million worth of Bitcoin has been budgeted for OTC trading firms. Want everyone to remember that and keep that in the back of their mind as we get to the end of this article. Binance has suspended withdrawals of Luna and UST until trading volume reduces. The UST token dropped to 66 cents with the market crash, and the BTC usage has helped bring it back up to 91. Still some way from the dollar peg. Meanwhile, the Luna token has dropped by over 45% in the past 24 hours, now worth about $33. And that other screenshot that I showed you, it had gone down even further than that. But anyways, as we stated before, Binance has suspended withdrawals of Luna and UST, usually not a very good sign for your shitcoin. And also one of the things that we like to bring up, right? You leave stuff on exchanges. This is what happens. Yep. You know, like it could get frozen. Anyways, moving on. Okay, here we go. Remember that 750 million? That's for the OTC traders? Check this out. The traders that take up the loans will trade on both sides of the market to avoid depegging and protect UST from the ongoing volatility. Now, I want you to think about this. I want you guys to think about this. Terra markets itself, and what a website it has. Terra markets itself as a trustless, programmable blockchain. But yet, here we are, we've given $750 million in loans to a group of traders, which will try to stabilize the depegging and the volatility. Anyways, the Luna Foundation Guard has announced an elaborate plan, I think they mean plan, to protect Terra USD from depegging after yesterday's scenario that saw the stablecoin constantly deviate below the dollar mark. Trustless, they say, Nico. So look, all I could say is we see a tumble in Bitcoin in the last couple of days, and this is what I was saying to Nico before the show started. Some of the weaker projects, they're going to get shaken out first, and you're going to start to see these things happen first. So actually, you know what? There was one other, before we go into the comments and we get Jane's take, I just did want to show, so there's this tweet thread that is going to be in the comments. It's very long and drawn out, explaining the intricacies of UST and Luna, and this other anchor protocol that they're using. Anyways, look, it's a whole bunch of shitcoin shenanigans, moving money around for no apparent reason. But the takeaway, this is kind of the signal for me here, okay? This is a tweet from @JohnWoo, okay? So this is the bet with Luna. UST is going to be burned for staking. The Luna price price will go up. Sell more Luna to fund the protocol reserve. And long term, UST takes off as a widely used stable before LFG runs out of money. Luna goes to the moon. Everyone happy. Now, when you trade your money every single day for time that you will not get back, and then you go in to dump it into some ridiculous shit like this, you need to understand again, and I've said this 1,000 times, the rug pull is the use case. The fact that you gave them your hard-earned money, that was the use case. Okay? The people that do end up getting some money back, they're very fortunate, but they're not going to be the majority. And so this is why we say, like, look, we know the marketing is great. They pay you all kinds of money, right? 20%. They pay you not to sell. They're paying you not to sell. And they're paying you an exuberant amount of shitcoin that they mint for free not to sell. Yeah. Anyways, Jane, before we go to Nico, Jane, what are your thoughts on this? This is our fail. I told you, it's a tough segment.
It's kind of what Ethereum did with their bag at the beginning. But also, I know Terra was investing in Bitcoin, so I'm not sure what happened with that situation. It failed so much. I think you're right, absolutely, with the rug pulls. A lot of people get involved in these Bitcoins. I hate saying that word, but that's what it is. And they believe in it. They really do. They have faith in it. And as I was saying earlier, when I dabble with coins, I don't dabble with them because I believe in them. I dabble with them because I see the news as, 2 weeks, this is going to happen. Okay, this is great. Let me get out before it gets rug pulled, right? But a lot of people don't think like that. They don't understand how the market works. So this is what they do. They take advantage of, and the SEC is cracking down on them, which I'm pretty happy about. So I don't think the SEC is a great organization, but when it comes to like Logan Paul and all those people rug pulling, I think it's very important that they crack down on it.
Yeah, the whole thing is just, I agree with you. I don't agree with you in terms of more government intervention. I'm a free market type of guy, but it is there, and we're going to cover this a little bit in the news. I think that it just gives Bitcoin a bad name, right? Because people just collude it being the same, right? Bitcoin, crypto, it's the same. If crypto's bad, Bitcoin must be bad, and it's just terrible. Look, in terms of the whole Luna situation, if this is your first cycle, welcome. This is how it plays out every single time. A lot of these shitcoins, and this is why we only advocate for Bitcoin on this show strongly, they won't make all-time highs again. They're just dead, right? So what a lot of people will do is that they'll hold on to those shitcoin bags, right? And they'll hold on to them through the bear market, and they're gonna get really, really hit. Usually, though, the good news of those people, though, is you're gonna get wrecked, and by getting wrecked, some of them are gonna go Bitcoin only, right? So that's there is a silver lining. But yeah, man, the whole Luna thing. Shout out Corey, did a great job, exposed it before. Corey shooting 2 for 2, just slaying. You know how I say Phil's the shitcoin slayer? Corey's a shitcoin slayer too, bro. Woo.
Big time.
Shout out Corey. But yeah, man, whole terrible situation. And the whole thing about the peg. Look, fiat was gold backed until it wasn't, right? Bitcoin's the only thing that has figured out it's a change in the system, right? And essentially what stablecoins do is, like, dude, think about it. Is fiat really stable? It's 8%. Is it really that stable? It gives the illusion that it's stable. In my opinion, Bitcoin is the stable coin, right? It might be short-term volatile, but over the long term, it goes up. At least fiat just goes down slightly, so you don't notice, right?
I agree with you 100%. I've never held any stable coins ever. The only time I've used it is to bridge transactions. I can't even imagine what type of person would hold anything that pegged to the dollar. It just seems, what's the point of doing that? It just doesn't make sense to me. Absolutely. But Bitcoin that's what I think people should be doing. There's so many opportunities to put your money into Bitcoin. Why wouldn't you do that? Why would you hold it in a peg coin?
Yeah, I completely agree.